Jose Rodriguez, 31 Gregory Avenue, West Orange. Thank you all, buddy, for allowing me to speak here tonight. And the reason I'm here, there's a matter that's of great importance to me that is on the agenda. And with the Council President's permission, I would like to distribute some synopsis of what I'm going to be talking about, so the Council can...
We can decide that. Once you're done, Mr. Rodriguez, you can go to the city clerk and we'll get to all council members.
There is a matter regarding the highway here tonight to be put back on the tax maps. The reason I'm here is because this matter should have been resolved and it hasn't, but I assure you that all I'm respectfully asking is to table this tonight. And once you read all the documentation that I...
Move the second. Are there any comments?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Mazza.
At the public speaking session, we received a package from Mr. Luis Rodriguez pertaining to 620, 624 First Avenue, 600 Fulton Street. I had some ledger's figures and evidence and whatever. And at the beginning of the meeting, I was talking to Mr. Rodriguez that he was very disappointed by his attorney. He felt that the attorney also was to do the proper negotiation and dialogue with the city. And at the pre-council meeting about a month ago, city council, where all of us, or those members that are present, concurrence that the city didn't give Mr. Rodriguez sufficient time. In view of the new evidence that came up in the situation that took place between Mr. Rodriguez's attorney not communicating with the city, I think it will be wise for a person like Mr. Rodriguez that over the years he had to serve the city very well as a commissioner, as a taxpayer, as a contractor of the city. I know that some of your colleagues might be disappointed that I bring this up, but I think it will be wise that we give him another month or even less than another month to Mr. Rodriguez and all the city council have time to review this paper and then see, the next meeting or the next month, which route we should actually take. And it has a valid explanation, and I think we should allow personally Mr. Rodriguez to himself or with the new attorney to communicate. At one time we were under the impression there was also a lawsuit against the city, which is none. I might like, if you mind, ask the city attorney, Mr. Estrada, do we have any lawsuits from Mr. Rodriguez?
No lawsuits in front.
Okay, thank you. So, with all due respect to the councilman made a motion to second and approve, do you mind if we make a motion to table those two items for the next week council meeting so we give enough time? Mr. Luis Rodriguez, another week or two is not going to be the end of Elizabeth. He's still going to be here. He's not going to run away out of the country.
Is that a motion?
Well, with due respect.
Well, we're trying to clarify right now because I asked to move the resolutions and then we'll move the second, so I'm getting clarification from the attorney right now. Move the second. There's a motion to table. The question is there a second?
Is there a second? I'll second it if there's a motion.
Now, motion to table.
Then I'll second.
Okay, Councilman Mazza makes a motion to table.
Okay.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine. Second.
Need a vote, a roll call on the motion to table.
This is from, you're talking about both items, correct?
Right.
Okay, any other comments?
Can't comment now.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Augustine.
Aye.
Councilman Questa.
No.
Councilman Jacobs.
Aye.
Councilman Grover.
No.
Councilman Keenan.
No.
Councilman Sedan.
Aye.
Councilman Baldwin.
No.
Councilman Mazza.
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
No.
5 noes, 4 ayes.
Can I speak now, Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman.
Now that it's not on the table, I also have had an opportunity to review the documents in front of us.
dispute about interest going back to 2006 and 2007. The concern I have is that there's been no payments since 2010. And, you know, if anybody is looking for the city to negotiate, I think there should have been some good faith payment towards the 2011-2012 taxes. That's my concern. And I'm glad that the documents were provided to us so that we can see that that's very clear that there's been no payments to the city of Elizabeth since July 2010. If anything, not even a dollar. So that's the reason why I think that the resolution should go forward.
Any other comments?
Mr. President, may I make some comments?
Sure, Councilor Costa.
And I'm not 100% sure, Mr. President, to be honest with you, and it's something that perhaps our attorney can search for the future. I'm not sure whether, because there's no discussion on what's the table. However, after we table the motion, now we're discussing it. I'm not sure whether that's
We didn't table.
it wasn't tabled. So that is why we're discussing it.
That's correct.
Mr. President, Councilman Massa made some reference to Mr. Rodriguez's history and what he's done in the city. I think most of us, if not all of us, are very much aware of his contributions to this great city. But I think that not only what Councilman Grover stated, I personally met Mr. Sangaro, and I met with the local client in anticipation of this meeting because I really wanted to be 100% fair to Mr. Rodriguez, who in fact has done so much for the city, as I stated before. And there is a statutory requirement. We are bound by statute to take action. And it's not something that we can just let go, regardless of our personal feelings and emotions. So that is why I was not able to support the motion to table. And that's why I think the resolution should move forward, because the way it's explained to me, not only the fact that the payments have been made for 2 years, according to Mrs. Zingara, but also that we are bound by statute to take action. And so it was my responsibility to vote on this matter today. Thank you,
Mr. President. Yes, Councilman Bowman was up next.
I'll be brief, Mr. President, and then I yield the floor to my colleagues, Councilman Key. I echo the statement said at Councilman Grove and Councilman Question, as I did also did some research, and I'm very aware, and as a matter of fact, I was even very proud of Mr. Rodriguez for the contribution that he has given towards the city. This is not an easy decision to make, but like Councilman Question said, this is bound by statute. And that's why I did agree with also the council, the Zingara and everybody. And I think we tried every avenue that we possibly could, as you know, Mr. President, to work with Mr. Rodriguez. We gave him every opportunity. But when you look at this report, there's no payment that has been made, like Councilman Grover indicated. And if you check it, you'll find out that it's there. No payment has been made. It could have been made $1. That would have made something, and effort is at least in trying. But nothing was paid. Nothing was made. I think that just was something that just we since bound by statute that we just can't let keep going on and on. So that's why I think that we should move with this resolution. Thank you, sir.
Any other comments?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Keenan first, Councilman Clark.
Yes, first of all, I consider Mr. Rodriguez a friend. I've known him for a very long time, and appreciate all of the things that he's done for the city. However, we need to bend over backwards to make sure, out of fairness, that the letter and the spirit of the law applies to everyone. And one of the requirements is that we pay our taxes. So this is the situation. This came up while I was city council president last year, and for whatever reason, we're carrying over into this year. But we need to be scrupulous that we both follow the letter of the law
and also avoid any appearance that we're not obeying the letter of the law. And I think this has gone on to such an extent that we must put these properties back on the tax rolls. And I am urging my colleagues to support voting to return the properties to the tax rolls. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson.
Yes, Mr. President. Not too long ago, we passed a program here called Second Chance. And at that meeting, when we passed that Second Chance program, I think there's some people out on our streets right now working and are given a second chance. Sometimes people need a third and fourth chance in order to get things right. Sometimes people just can't make a payment. Sometimes people just don't have the money to make that payment. Now, I'm not saying that we should observe the law, because it is a statute, and we have to follow, and that's what we do. But I do believe, and I will firmly say this, I think everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone. And everyone in the city council, or on the city council, has voted for people to get second and third chances. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman, any other comments?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Madison.
Not as much as that Mr. Rodriguez personality, we all know that. Besides, I went to school with him. I went to school with Mr. West too. I don't know if he went with Eddie, but anyway, just about the same age. The dispute that I think Mr. Rodriguez is making is very simple. It's the one that the money that he allocated toward the taxes, it wasn't used as a formula that maybe the federal government or the agency should be look into it. That's where Mr. Rodriguez needs to sit down and be able to hammer out. Currently, there's already somebody paying those taxes. You know, somebody's making a revenue, 18%, if it doesn't pay by a certain time, whatever it takes to be myself. I could just stop paying my taxes on my property, and then all of a sudden, 5 years from now, I wake up and say, well, let me pay just for the sake of it. You know, we don't know what actually brought Mr. Rodriguez to do things like this, but the way he explained it, he had an attorney that was assigned to do the work for him. That attorney didn't do the work, so apparently he got fired, and he's here before us tonight. You know, again, as Mr. Eddie, Councilman Elijah mentioned, you give somebody else a third chance, and this is something, you know, we are very close to a fire for votes, and so let Mr. Rodriguez at this point go to the right direction, whatever he has to do. But personally, you know, I think he should have got this chance. Another week, Elizabeth's not going to go down a drink where we're just spending we actually allocated $20 million bonding that in the near future somebody's going to pay those taxes. So that's what I have to say. I was going to give him a third chance, even though some of us we discussed previously, you know, enough is enough. I understand it, but majority wins. Unless somebody would like to reconsider it and have an open heart and some place in order to do the right thing. And then if he does, then shame on him, shame on us, if we don't do what we're supposed to be doing.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments?
Mr. President, can I say something?
No, you cannot speak, sir. Sorry. Any other comments? So, all I want to say is that I think it's unfortunate that it has come to this, and I know, you know, several opportunities have been given. There's still another opportunity if this passes tonight, Mr. Rodriguez. If he does, he will be given a window in which to pay what is owed and the matter to be rectified. If he takes advantage of that opportunity, then you know, then it will be rectified and the properties will not go back on the tax rolls. Roll call.
Councilwoman Perkins Dustin.
Excuse to the 620 and the 600 First Avenue, Fulton. I am everything else.
Councilman Questa. Councilman Jacobs.
No on the 620, 624 First Avenue. No on the 600 Fulton Street. Aye on the waivers.
Okay, so that was no on 620, 624, and 600, right?
I think everyone should get a safe resolution.
Councilman Rowe?
I'm sorry,
Councilman King?
Aye.
Councilman Sedan?
No on the 620 First Ave and 600 Fulton Street. Aye for everything else.
Councilman Ballmer? Councilman Mazza?
No on 620, 624 First Avenue, no on 600 Fulton Street, and yes on everything else.
President Gonzalez?
Aye. All resolutions